Well, joining us right now, a guy who might have more answers for us. We have Rob D'Amico, former FBI supervisor, who also served as chief of the FBI's counter-drone unit. Rob, as I welcome you, I want your reaction to the update the last hour that we were just getting there from Sam about state officials in New Jersey saying anything unusual about this and pushing back on what officials have been telling us.
I think in the beginning, a 99+% were manned aircraft, low-flying satellites, planets. They all look to be drones at night, and they think they're at low altitude. They're not. They're depending on the angle and the lights. We used to get this all the time. Anytime the FBI counter-drone unit went to an event, and let me state, the FBI's counter-drone unit is only for specific events like the Super Bowl, World Series, where we think a terrorist may bring a drone in and weaponize it. They really don't have anything to do with civilian drones like you're seeing. That's FAA. But anytime we told anyone we were there, they'd start looking at the sky like, oh, I see drones. And we had apps that tracked airplanes. And then we actually started bringing stuff to look at planets to figure this stuff out because people aren't used to looking at the sky. Now, since then, though, with all the hysteria, I guarantee everybody who's got a drone starting to fly them. I grew up in New Jersey. I wasn't, as a teenager in New Jersey, I'd be throwing a drone up and messing with people just to add to the chaos. And I think that's what you're starting to see. Like the shot here with over the soccer goals, those are either low flying or satellites, aircraft at a far off angle that you can't tell. And that's what they're saying is the majority of what you're seeing in the beginning was that. But now I think people are adding to the chaos. You're going to start seeing around the country because as people start looking up, they're going to start noticing things in the sky.
Okay, but Rob, the fact that we're not being told exactly what they are, more like, oh, well, they're not a problem, and not saying where they're coming from, not saying what they're doing. Some people believe these drones actually belong to the U.S. government. What are the chances they are right? At least a portion of them.
I think that's a far stretch. I think if anyone was doing anything, if they were doing anything, they would stop at this point. They would say, if they were, I've heard the testing, I've heard all this other stuff, they would like cease and desist doing that. I think the really outrageous one was that Iran has a ghost ship and they're launching drones in. So Iran's going to fly drones at an altitude with lights on that people can see. That's silly to a point. I've now seen all kinds of stuff about UFOs. Every conspiracy theorist now has some take on this. But the problem is it's getting to the point where you saw from a LaGuardia airport the other day, that was 99% was planes in a landing pattern. And now you're starting to see people flying drones by airports, again, to look for drones or cause chaos. And you're going to have a serious incident with a commercial aircraft.
President-elect Donald Trump suggested last night on social media that officials should simply shoot down the drones. Good idea or bad idea?
That's so bad. When I had the FBI's counter-drone team, we could mitigate a drone. We could take it over with electronics and land it so bomb techs could take a look at it. That was a very serious thing to do because once you start playing with the drone, it can fall and kill someone. So if you have a drone sightseeing where it shouldn't be and you shoot it down and it kills somebody, I mean, what's going on with that? So you have to look at it. I would also, like when we were doing it in New York City for the Thanksgiving Day parade, I would really never take over a drone in New York City because the ability to fly a drone in New York City, there's a thing called GPS canyons. GPS is so hit or miss in New York City. For me to be able to take a drone and land it where I want, I think was even too risky to do. So saying to shoot down drones is probably the worst thing you can say. And if someone shoots at a drone, it is the same legally as shooting at a manned aircraft. There's no difference in it. So if you go start shooting down drones, and I've seen videos of it, you might as well be shooting at an airplane full of people. It's the same penalties. So again, it is just irresponsible to start saying all these things. And we, in the FBI, we went to Congress asking them to allow us to train state and locals, because this is not an easy mission. Allow us to train state and locals so they could actually do this on them for themselves.
Let me ask you, even if this all turns out to be absolutely nothing of note, are drones from a foreign country a credible threat to the U.S.?
No. Department of Defense has the ability to track foreign drones, foreign ships off there. They have good drones, but the fact that they're not getting anything from a drone that hasn't already been gotten. Like you talk about, I mean, some of the best drones are Chinese drones. And let me tell you, all that data has already gone back to China. Like that's, DJI drones, there's a whole big talk. The U.S. government's not allowed to use them, but they have millions of drones out there, and they're grabbing up all the imagery that people are flying. So it's nothing they haven't seen before. Some country's not going to get something from a drone. Now, again, if you look at weaponizing it like ISIS did, it can be a terrorist attack. It's not going to have huge effects, even if it's got a grenade. There's talk about agricultural drones being able to spray stuff. That is one of the concerns that we always had. But it's going to be a limited thing. And we've already caught like terrorists like planning other things. So the fact that if you can get into a terrorist group and they start talking about drones, then it's just another typical threat stream that you go to intercept.
Okay. Well, this was a good chat, and I feel a little better having spoken with you, Rob D'Amico. Thank you so much.